Anyway, yeah, another recording. I'm gonna just do this all day long. This phone has a battery life that is fucking incredible. And so I'm just gonna walk around and record everything I do. So I'm gonna walk around in a circle here. Oh, and like, it's supposedly like narcissists versus sociopaths, and the whole thing is fucking incredibly dumb. Oh, over here you can get free coffee that they put out at China Basin, which is like this. It's fucked up. It's free coffee they put out at China Basin, which is this like arcade. But it's only free coffee for people that are getting healthcare, okay? And I can't get healthcare because I can get emergency care through Medi-Cal, but I can't get healthcare unless I go to a PCP or primary care provider, which of course is bullshit because it's bullshit because I can't use the service. Like I can get free coffee from here when it's not raining. It's raining. But I can't get medical care. So, and it's the only place in the city. So it's like if somebody like drugs you so that you're dying in the shelters because they'll find someone that doesn't like, they'll be like, oh, and I took pictures of the candy bars I'm eating, which are probably making me sick. They're protein bars. But I can't eat the Meals on Wheels because they'll put head medication in it. Yeah. Anyway, I can't eat the Meals on Wheels because they'll put head medication in it. And last night they poisoned the food from Proper Foods, which had winter salad in it. It was called a winter salad, which is supposed to be like funny. What they do is they indicate like what they're gonna poison by like saying, like doing a wink and a nod and then poisoning the thing that has a funny name or something. So anyway, I can't eat the food in the shelter at 555 Beale Street because it's poisonous. And so, and my EBT card is probably black market at this point. I can't get any money off of it, but I can get food. So it's attempting to make it so I'm like demonetized to the extent that I can't have any money at all. But then if I eat too much food or like I don't have enough money to last an entire month eating the food on an EBT card because it's less than $10 a day, and which is damn near impossible, especially if you're sick constantly. And so it's like, oh look, they have the coffee thing. So I'm just gonna record what this is like. It's like, bitch, you're making fun of me and like harassing me and treating me like shit. It's like, I don't care, I'll take the coffee. And they'll probably put something stupid in it too. So, it's like, well, oh right, where was I? Oh yeah, so, I can't eat the food there. I've been poisoned at Glide, at St. Anthony's, at Open Hands, at fucking 140 Turk Street. There's another food pantry that gives out food that's related to the church, but all the food there is spoiled. Okay? And so it's like, well, they have the sign. Fascinating. Well, I'll take a picture of the sign. They also like to do this crazy shit where like if it's in black and white, that's bad. Or like, I'm assuming it's bad because again, it's like fucking, I'm assuming it's bad because it's like Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. The other thing that happened is that I had a laptop at 1001 Turk Street, or 1001 Polk Street, that was going through a router that was owned by 5Keys, okay? These weird routers that were like American routers or something. Some company I never heard of, okay? And like, if you've been around technology long enough, you'll be like, oh, it's Huawei, like in the extreme case, or it's Logitech, or it's, Samsung, or This is some company I never heard of in the supply class that had routers that they worked, but like you've never fucking heard of it. And so I figure that everything I did, everything I looked up, then went to weird people. So this is common in San Francisco. They have major pharmaceuticals brand drugs. It's like, what is that? I've never heard of it. Apparently it's through someplace out of Indiana and a factory there. I've never heard of that. And every time I take the drugs they give me from major pharmaceuticals, they make me sick. And I figure they're A/B testing like weird drugs with them. So this phone's IP address is static, which shouldn't happen because IP addresses are supposed to change dynamically if it's a phone, supposedly. So I figure the phone's bugged, and that everything I did at 1001 Polk Street through the router of 5 Keys shelters itself was bugged. And then somebody paid a lot of money to take everything I said of all the things I was scared of after I was being drugged at night in the shelters and given scabies repeatedly for like months. Take all of that and then spend inordinate amounts of money using it to torture me. It's like, yeah, wouldn't it be funny if every now and again you put out coffee at China Basin that would make him sick and then pay everybody else in the city to give no food to the poor whatsoever? Oh, okay. Shit like that. Whoop, I'm gonna have to go back the way I came. And the reason is, of course, because now we're playing, oh God, that guy is enormous. We were playing Brave New World, and now we're playing Big Brother, right? And so now what I do is, I have to prove I exist by going around the block and just seeing who was following me in the first place. And I just, it's like, oh, okay. But now you broke it, now you found out all the people that were following and gaslighting you. Okay, now what? I don't know. I mean, if you're followed and gaslit and made sick all the time, then what I want to do is have 5 Keys shelters closed. That'd be nice. I'd like them to be broken up and closed so that they would give shelters to the poor that weren't, ways to fuck with somebody. It would be nice if they took the entire organization and sold off every one of the fucking shelters so that one shelter system didn't own all of them in San Francisco. Because right now there's 5 Keys shelters, there's Sanctuary, there's 1050 South Van Ness, and MSC South. And the 3 other shelters, those shelters have 300 beds, and then there's 1,000 beds or 1,500 beds or more run out of 10 shelters run by the same organization. And they most likely have corrupted the SRO office. And it's that's the housing standard room occupancy, that's the housing office. Because I don't know about you, but there's no fucking way that anyone is going to give somebody $3,000 to have an apartment in the city just if you're homeless. I came here because I thought my sister would give me a room and I could work at Starbucks and make friends to the point where I could share a place at one point. And that certainly didn't fucking work out. But yeah, so, and this shit blows my mind, right? It's raining. I have a shelter bed in a place where I'm scared to sleep at night because I'm sickened, and then followed everywhere. And then this shit. Fucking nothing. You put cots on the ground, you could put in 5,000 guys. And it's nothing. And they just closed the Walgreens on Market. And it's like, but why? Why would they do that? It's like, I don't know. Why is everyone here a cunt? Why is everybody in the city an asshole? I can't get medical care. There's no way to get a job. Everything is closed. Even across, the only thing that's open are the medical centers. Right? Because you can't, like, medicine is the ultimate scam, because it's like, these people are dying, we can take all of their money, and they're going to be the last thing to close. Oh, and I'm also like, this is constant, I'm followed around by dogs. So the shelter has a dog theme, and then I'll be followed around by guys with dogs constantly. So this is going on the internet. Yeah, so it's, I at one point mentioned that, like, if you have a dog, it's one way to get around the fact that you can't have a gun in San Francisco because you could use it to attack someone. Which is like, well, that's crazy. It's like, yeah, well, people are using meth to make me sick when I walk down to the bodega to get a cup of coffee. So yeah, like, so this is the ground floor, and this is like this in most, like, every building in San Francisco. Like, you just pick a building, the ground floor is empty. Now, you can't go to the top floors of all the buildings because, like, you can't. There's door guys and, like, they'll, like, kick you out. But if the ground floor of every building in San Francisco is empty, what, you're going to tell me the rest of the buildings are full? Like, the rest of the levels? Like, all the rooms, they have people in them? And so here I am, homeless. And, like, the fancy older buildings, like, I don't know if the point, like, it's to the point where it's eerie, where it's like, what, am I supposed to break into a building? Like, is that the point? Like, is everyone just like, dude, when is this guy gonna figure out that all the buildings are empty and we're just squatting here because we don't know what to do? That's more or less what I assume the city is like at this point. Like, I don't understand any of it. Like, I just don't. I just have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, and it's like, yeah, but it's not your business. It's like, yes, but everything is broken like that, all over the city. Everything. And, like, the buildings are still here, but, like, all the people left. I mean, there's people, but it's like there's cars. There's people driving through. And occasionally you have a large amount of people who, like, walk up and down Market, and none of them will talk at all. And I'm gonna film that. Like, maybe not today because it's too cold, and it'd be like, oh, well, that seems normal. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film to, like, when it's sunny in a couple days, just walking down Market Street with, like, 3,000 guys where no one says anything. That's weird. Like, you'll have like, you'll have 5,000 people walk up and down Market Street and no one will say anything. And it's like, oh, okay. It's not a scam. That's totally normal. That's like, it's like, oh, okay, totally not a group shunning or something. Totally not a way to fuck with a guy. It's like, you know, and I know it's happening. It's like, I'm gonna take all these people who don't like you for some fucking reason, and then you're gonna surround them with, I mean, it's like I'm a guy, like, I'm one person. Like, the amount of money and effort that has gone into, oh, this shit right here. So apparently one of the things they did is they paid off the big bus to have me followed around, or have people followed around, until they could cough up $60 to get on this bus. And and the point was that you had figured out the scam. I recorded the MTV bus earlier. But apparently if you, like, hacked your phone or figured out the hacking scam with your phone, or like that you were being like screwed with and then like managed to get money anyway and then got on the big bus, it was like the end of hackers or some fucking thing. I recorded all of that and put it online, and it was just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So, you know, it's like, the thing is that if you fuck with people that much, then once you find out how it happened, and then how you sickened people and made them ill, then all the people that participated in this will be found out, and eventually like, oh, it's like, oh, these people found out that you can sicken everybody and then like get out early and then make a bunch of money. Oh, did they now? There'd be no one left that would unwind this and then tell everybody how it worked. And then find out the people that were playing the game and then have them hunted down. No one would do that. I'm not going to do that. I'll just record it and tell everybody how it works and then have those guys do it. It's like, well, that's mean and cruel. It's like, yeah, well, on the other hand, so I figure that it's the entire thing's like a big scam to set up like, oh, this guy's doing a thing. So I figure like all of the city is like this. Hold on. I figure all of the city is like this, where there's this giant scam where it's like, how are you gonna fuck with people and then try and get away with it? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, oh look, here's a giant scam. And then once I figure that out, I'm gonna find out the guy who paid for the whole thing in the first place and then have him put in prison. Until he dies. And his children will have no money. And everyone will hate them. So anyway, I'm gonna go shopping now. I'm just gonna record how that happens.